Eve. Saturday night. Kidding, it's not Saturday night. Actually, I'm just waking up. Just did my hydrogen protocol. Now I'm going to clean my water. This is how I get the day going. Gotta say, this thing's pretty full though. I stopped my distiller. Sometimes I stop it before it gets too. Oh, goodness gracious. This thing was already full. I was like thinking, I thought it was partially full. Nope. Apparently, I'd already filled it up. And I forgot to take the water out of it. So I guess this is, and this is, by the way, this is how you clean your water for people who don't watch the show. And in my opinion, do you have to have clean water to be healthy? Absolutely. No, that's just my opinion, though. Remember, we never give any medical advice. Never give any medical suggestions. Everybody does what they're going to do. But I will show you what I do. People do want to know. It's worked great for me, considering I was extremely ill. So this works, for me at least. Well, actually, I've seen other people do it too, and it has worked for them too. So I take that back. It's amazing, you know, how the simple things in nature can help our bodies so much, like water. And this is how I clean it. And then after I clean it, I do, I don't know, harvest it. I don't know what to say. Sounds weird to say harvest, but harvest it, put them in these glass jugs. That's what I do. Now, when most people make distilled water, I don't think they normally add minerals to it before it's made, but I do. Not a lot. The minerals, they remove all the salt pretty much. And then I just put one drop. I mean, they tell you to do something, I mean, in my opinion, a little ridiculous. The bottle says something like put 40 drops or 80 drops, or I can't remember, something crazy for 1 gallon. You know, I put most of my minerals actually. There we go. Turn it on. Make me clean water, please. Thank you, machine. It's like I treat the machine with no respect, right? Make me water. Does that sound stupid? Like I tell you what to do. Nah, it's just a nice machine. You know, I really am grateful actually for a lot of these machines. You know, it's pretty cold. Let me grab this heat pack. I am grateful that a lot of these machines exist. And then there's a lot of other machines that I wish never existed. And they're just plain silly, and I don't know why they're on the market. But as far as for cleaning water, I'm very grateful this machine exists and that it's actually affordable. You know, it's not something silly like $20,000 or though for clean water, you know, it'd be tempting to pay almost any amount of money for that level of clean water. But you know, we do what we can. Okay, let's go to our morning smoothie. So you guys didn't get to see it on camera just because I just don't turn on the camera when I'm waking up in the morning, you know. I wash my face and brush my teeth and I do my hydrogen protocol and I just don't turn on the camera for that. Hey, Dreamer. And what do you mean nobody? What do you mean nobody? I don't know what you mean, Bulky Pug. Reiterate it back to me. Did I say nobody? I don't know, maybe I did. So you know the drill. Purium. I shop purium.com if you want to use the same stuff I do. This is my multivitamin, multi-nutrient, all from food. Oh, and I gotta tell you, it smells good. The moment I open up this bag, you get this whiff of what smells just like really, really clean food. I've tried other powders. I don't know why they never smell like this. That's why I like this company. I wanted to do a little review on one of the products, which I really do want to do it. Here's raw cacao. I'm gonna put raw cacao. I just feel like it's every time I try to do a review, I did make I think 2 videos, but I didn't release them. I was just making videos one day when I was drinking it. There's this product called Apothecary, and I thought, oh, I want to share this with my audience because I didn't think I'd like it, and I really liked it, and I was really kind of impressed. And so I was like, I want to share with the audience, let them know that it's actually really neat and kind of fun, and it's like a treat. And if you guys ever want to try it, But when I do it, when I make the video, it feels like I'm making a commercial. Like, guys, check out Apothecary. I tried this. Oh, I just felt like, so I didn't release it. I was like, this doesn't feel right. It feels like I'm doing an infomercial or something. But you know, you have to be, well, I don't know if you have to be entertaining. I don't even know if I was trying to be entertaining. I was just, oh no, guys, I think I might, you know what? I gotta go check to see if I have enough greens. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I need anything else while I'm down there. I'm gonna need, look at that. I'm gonna need blueberries and I'm gonna need natto too. So I guess I need 3 things. So anyway, they have this really great product called Apothecary, and the thing is, I like to drink it at night because I can't remember if it has natural melatonin in it or if it helps produce natural melatonin. I have to go back and read that, but you know, it's supposed to be good at nighttime, and normally I don't eat anything at night, but you know, I was just like, you could say I was just treating myself a little bit, I guess. Oh, that's right, I eat celery too. And so, you know, just kind of having fun with it, which is what I try to do with life. Just trying to have a little fun here. And what else am I missing? Oh, natto, yes. Oh no. Am I out? Oh, oh no, they're frozen. Crap, I didn't defrost one. My hands are full. You're a fool. You know what? Sometimes I am. Silly fool. Okay, so what are we going to do? Are we going to go without natto today? Is that what we're going to do? We'll say one day without it is not the end of the world or anything. I mean, we're getting plenty of nutrients. It's just a little bit of a disappointment. But we gotta carry this stuff without. Okay. Lots of stairs in this place. All right. Song stuck in my head too. Let's see. It's what'd you guys say? Just kidding around. I'm here anyways. More will be here soon. Oh, just got here. Which type of water filter do you use? Thanks for all you do. He has a water distiller. Which one? It's from a website called mypurewater.com. If you do want a discount code, let's see, the code is uprising 144K. I use that one because, well, it's the best. I mean, you can get, I mean, there's more expensive carbon distillers out there. I mean, these are made in America. They are high quality. And that's why I use them, chose them. And I really do like them. I like their service too. I feel like service is really important for certain products, especially like for example, hydrogen machines. So important to have good service. You can't just be buying stuff on Amazon and nobody will help you, and it's really quite frustrating. I really don't have any natto. I thought maybe I'd have some in here. Well, guys, today you are going to see a smoothie made without natto. And you know what? Is that okay? That's okay. Not the end of the world. But I really do like my natto, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, throw it in the fridge to defrost. You just have to be okay with that. Okay then. This guy in the freezer. The problem is today I'm actually in a hurry and I'm taking too long. Okay, so the cleanest water. I use the carbon distiller here. I'll just show it to you real quick. Somebody wanted to see it. This is it right here, mypurewater.com. Now, there's more than one. They have a cheaper one than that one, which actually I like quite a bit too. And I have one of those, but somebody that I'm letting somebody borrow it basically gave it to somebody. And carbon distillers are the only way. It's funny, I feel like I really I'm not trying to beat the dead horse or anything, but I keep saying that I mean, I don't know how many videos or how many times I've said it, but basically, it's the only way you're going to clean your water, just so you know. There is no reverse osmosis. There is no carbon filter. There is nothing that's going to clean your water. all the way. And I'm actually becoming quite suspicious, which some people may not like to hear this, but I mean, it's the truth. So sorry, I try not, I want to be blunt, but I try not to be because I feel like sometimes it can sound like I'm being rude. And I'm not trying to be rude. It's just that I'm starting to become a little suspicious of some of these water filtration companies. Not the companies. It's not the companies actually. I don't really care about any of that. It's their products. Because some of these filters, there's a lot of them that haven't been tested, and you got to see where they're made. And then the ones that I have seen tested, I've literally seen some filters actually contaminate water. Why? Well, because you're running water through a porous type of filter. You don't know what exactly it's made of or who made it or where it was made. And those things matter. And through the distillation, you don't really have to worry about that much, you know. I mean, I have reverse osmosis, I have carbon filters, I have every single water filtration modality basically in existence, guys. I have all of them. And of course, which is why is my absolute favorite. The water is so much cleaner. You can taste it after my hydrogen, especially. And yeah, that's the carbon distiller. The lab results prove that too. I mean, everything shows that that's the best. And, you know, so that's and again, in my opinion, gotta have clean water if you're trying to be healthy. You know what I'm going to try to do today? I was out of greens almost. I went to go grab some. But instead of opening up the new one, I'm going to use up these old ones that are still good, of course. And then I'm going to make a few changes today. So you guys are going to get the lucky day here. And it's not lucky day so much as it is, you have to adapt. Sometimes you won't have certain ingredients. Everybody thinks that this is a recipe and that you have to follow it to the T. No, that's not the case. You find what vegetables and fruits are near you because most fruits and vegetables are good for you. And then you can research the health benefits of each one if you want to, but try to find things that are organic, clean, near you, all that good stuff. But today, because I don't have enough greens, I'm going to adapt today. We're going to do something different. And I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great. Let's make smoothies great again. Did you guys see that CNN town hall? I don't know why that was so funny. That was funny right there. Everybody likes themselves a good laugh. Don't take yourself too seriously, right? This seems kind of nice. Good way to do things. Okay, let's see here. There's the apothecary. What am I looking for here? I know I'm looking for something. I guess I was out of celery. Good, perfect. Look at that. I grabbed some celery. Okay. Let's see if you can ask questions too as we go. This might help. Which distillery at mypurewater.com? What brand natto do you use? Many of them have some weird things added. No, believe it or not, they don't. What it is when you look at the ingredient list, it looks like it has a ton of terrible ingredients. Just make sure it's made in Japan. And when you open them, what you're going to realize is that they have a little packets inside of there, like little packets. It's the ingredients in those silly little packets. Throw the little packet away and just eat the raw materials. Kind of like salad. Like, for example, have you ever seen these prepackaged salads? And then if you look at the ingredients, there's tons of stuff, and that's because they have a little packet in there of, literally, in my opinion, garbage salad dressing that you basically ruin your salad with. I'll give you a little hint, at least that I found helpful, as far as salad dressings are concerned. The salad dressing that I use is not technically a salad dressing. I put either sauerkraut on my salad or I put kimchi on my salad, and that is my salad dressing. It's salty, it makes it have more flavor, and that's how I do it, and it really changes the salad for me. I really enjoy doing that. So, and it's good for you. Fermented food, fantastic. I just know it. The data shows clearly that our body likes food, assimilates food better for all its nutrients, better than any pill or anything that we have. Food's always the best. And one of the most difficult nutrients to get, that's the reason that we use the powders, by the way, the period powders, which it looks like I'm going to probably be out of before the end of the month because That's what happened last month. But anyway, those powders they're made of food, and that the body. That's why I use it. It's like my multivitamin. It's working really great. By the way, these are hydrogen raisins. Soak them in super clean hydrogen water, and then they give us sweetness. They have boron in them. They're super good for digestion. Believe it or not, they're good for sex hormones. They're good for muscles, ligaments, bones. That's the benefits of boron. And so we're going to put those in there. And I'm going to make more right now. Might as well. Let's see if we have enough blueberries. Good for the vascular system. Let me tell you how important the vascular system is. Also, anti-angiogenic, anti-cancerous. You can read a lot of data on berries. Berries are just so good for you in general. You know what? I'm just going to use too many today. I'm going to dump the whole thing in there. Why not? I got a whole new bag here, so I was like, yeah, just use that up. Where's the other bag then? Okay, I'm going to make my raisins again. I like that. So one of the tricks you're going to notice about good health is bringing water into your GI system. I don't know why almost nobody talks about that, but it really does matter. And food that's dried, like raisins or dried grapes, and things that are dried are not going to be your best bet, guys. They're going to go into your GI system, and they're going to pull water out. And your GI requires so much water to digest meals, so it's not doing you any favors. So soaking them, like, see, I'm just about to soak these right now for tomorrow, because otherwise I end up not doing it tomorrow. Or I'm sorry, not that I won't do it tomorrow. I won't have it available tomorrow. So they just soak up all the water so nicely, and then boom, I just throw it in the smoothie, and now I got raisins that are full of water. And the next one's another anti-cancerous ingredient, which is walnuts. You should see the studies on it. It was interesting because in the studies they tried to do extracting certain aspects of the walnuts because, for like cancer, and it wouldn't work. It would only work as a whole food. And I don't mind the whole food because it fills me up. It has tons of other nutrients, lots of protein, good fats, good oils. Doesn't give me any weird reactions. I get weird reactions with seed oils. I can't eat fried food, stir fried, deep fried, but now we know that it's carcinogenic, that we shouldn't eat those things, most likely going to lead to cancer. And there's heated oils and everything, almost. Like, look at all the processed food. If you see canola oil, palm oil, olive oil, any oil in processed foods, it's typically been a heated oil, typically. Okay, now as we go, I pour hydrogen water in here, or clean water, whatever you have access to. And we do it as we go, otherwise this blender will not blend. You can try all you want. I've made these for years. I'm telling you right now. Okay, so now we're going to go with something a little magical today. Let's just try something different. Okay, let's see here. Actually, let's go first with the ginger. Some people who try my smoothies, the one thing that they don't, I don't know, I wouldn't say that they don't like it, but the one thing they're kind of like, oh, what is this? And it's typically the ginger, and it's not because it tastes bad. In my opinion, I think it tastes quite good. It's the kind of spiciness in it, and it makes very few people, I think I've only had one or two, say that it makes their throat itch a little bit. And I couldn't figure out what ingredient it was, and it was ginger. Oh, I'm already getting a little, not sad. I was like, oh, I forgot I'm not going to have natto today. I missed my natto already. I get to be pretty fond of some of the stuff I put in my body. Like, I like natto. So many amazing nutrients in it, but I used to not put it in all the time anyway. I also like coconut cream. I don't put that one in there very often. Makes it real creamy and rich and delicious, kind of like a dessert. You know what's funny about these smoothies? Oftentimes after dinner, if I'm not satisfied, I'll just end up having a little more smoothie, and that totally satisfies me. It's like having fruit. That's one of the little secrets I've discovered. After dinner, if you just don't feel satisfied, something about fruit. The Japanese, I remember there was this old lady, very sweet old lady, She will remain nameless, though she is actually gone now. But she, when I would have dinners in Japan, she would always pull out some type of fruit, like an Asian pear or a Fuji apple or something. And she would always cut up a slice, like cut up some type of fruit at the end of dinner. Like it was, I don't know, dessert, but it always kind of hit the spot more than I ever expected that it would. I was like, huh, why is this hitting the spot so? Almost like that's what we're supposed to have. Like it really felt completely gut instinct. I mean, I don't think I've ever read any studies about having fruit after dinner. Um, but somehow it really hit the spot. And now when I do it, it still hits the spot. And I'm like, wow. So once in a while after dinner, I'll have smoothie. And that's what I do. Okay, so this is the magic ingredient today. Why is it magic? Well, let's talk about it. We're going to be using these the leaves today. Now, we talked about them yesterday, and the reason that I got kind of excited is I've always tried to use them. I don't like to waste any food, and so I just throw the beet leaves in the smoothie. And some of these don't look so good, but I'll at least keep the stems. And some of these are really gross, and we're going to throw those into the compost pile. But what we discovered yesterday about these beet leaves is that these have freaking vitamin D in them. Guys, do you have any idea how hard it is to get vitamin D from food? I mean, they have to fortify our foods because otherwise, way too deficient in vitamin D. It's just such a difficult nutrient. And the foods that you can get it from are foods that you really, at least in my personal opinion, would not want to be eating on the regular. Mostly due to contaminants. The contaminants in those specific foods are so bad. I've known people who try to eat them to try to be healthier, and dare I say, just about everybody that I know who's tried this has tested um, positive for heavy metals. So it's just not a nutrient you can get from your food typically, and so I have to use it in its ionic form, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a moment. But that's basically the best way, even though technically it's the second best way because the best way is always your food. But in the future, not right now, um, I hope to share some knowledge. I'm trying to reach out to specific people, but it's just probably not working. Um, I need to show a new way of growing food so that food will have the nutrients that they should have. It's something that I would say nobody on planet Earth for some reason has discovered. I don't know kind of why, because there's a lot of smart people out there, but maybe somebody. I mean, I haven't found them, and I kind of doubt it. It takes lots of money and lots of work to do it, but there is a way, in my personal opinion, it's like an idea I came up with on how we can grow food that literally, guys, would blow your mind. Food that the world hasn't seen. I don't even know what to call it. You can't call it superfood. You can't call it organic food. It would be a food. Actually, you could call it. Well, I won't say any names right now, but I'll just tell you that it's food that we have not seen for so long. I mean, thousands and thousands of years. That, of course, nobody even knows that it exists anymore. I go into the whole history of as to why it's not happening and what we've done wrong and all this, but it would reveal too much at this time um, in regards to certain things that I just can't divulge yet. I need to work with the proper people before divulging all that stuff. I don't want it to end up in the wrong hands either, which is another kind of issue. But yes, we can grow better food. Like I said, food that would be so ridiculously nutritious that we could probably eat like one beet and just have just everything that your body would need. I mean, a smoothie like this would be unnecessary if we could make. Actually, if we could make the food that way, I could make a smoothie like this without the powders. I would no longer need those powders. The powders are because the food just isn't enough. And if you don't use the powder, these powders that I get, you're just not going to get all the nutrients you need. And the whole point of being healthy is you really need to I mean, you're going to need clean water. There's a few things that you just kind of need. Obviously, you need proper hydration. You want really clean water. Hydrogen is really one of the biggest secrets, but we already, thank God for the Japanese. Not only did they discover it, they've created a device for us to be able to do it easily and very, very effectively and clean, because you're going to have to do it for the long term. A lot like water. You're going to be using it for the long term, so you want really clean water. You're not going to get away with, I mean, you could try to use filtered water and stuff, but it's not going to be ideal, especially if you're trying to heal, in my personal opinion. So yes, but one of these days when we grow food like that, for me, it'll be a very, very exciting day. I'll be so, so, so happy. I would just love to bite into one of these ancient foods that we just, like I said, haven't seen. So anyway, vitamin D, we were talking about it yesterday, is apparently in these leaves from beets, if you can imagine that. Vitamin D. I'm telling you guys, start looking at the ingredients, or not the ingredients, the nutritional levels and the stuff that you eat. Now, granted, it's probably going to be fortified, but look at some of this stuff and look for vitamin D. It is extremely difficult to find. I know I'm missing something. What am I missing? Oh, we're going to go with this guy. Little hydrogen chia seeds. And you know what? I know I don't have a ton of time, but I'm going to have to make more because this is just not going to be enough. Let's go. I want to use the other water. So we're going to have to go with either a little clean water, a little hydrogen water. It's always depending on what you have access to. Not the end of the world. If all you have is like RO water, then that's what you use. And if that's all you have is carbon filtered water, then that's what you use. You just do the best you can. That's what you do. You do the best you can. You can't get too crazy if you can't get all the things that you really want, or need. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to make hydrogen chia seeds right now because I'm out. I've shown you guys a few times. There is a method to it. If you don't do it right, it will not work. I have tried and I have tried, and I kept thinking that I would find a better way, and I didn't. There is about just one way to do this, and I'm going to show it to you. And where did it go? My chia seeds. Why chia seeds? Why do I put chia seeds? Some people will be like, dude, why do you put those in there? Well, it's not a good angle, is it? How's that? Okay. Why chia seeds? Well, for one, they're inexpensive. I like to put stuff that's inexpensive, but look, they're rich in omegas, calcium, fiber, iron, and from food. Again, we want these things from our food. I can get a big bag of all organic chia seeds. Wow, organic. Cool. For less than 10 bucks. And this thing lasts a while. So what I do is take a scoop. There's one. There's two. And you fill up the jar halfway with water. And three. The reason I put them in water, again, remember, dried food, guys. These guys soak up the water and bring it into your GI with fiber. That's what you're looking for, my friends. At least that's what I'm looking for. You guys can look for whatever you want. But then once you fill it up halfway like this, then I got to fill up the rest. And you have to do it in that order. I used to think I could just like put the water in or just put the chia seeds and then fill it with water. It won't work. They'll turn into a clumpy mess. And then once you fill it up all the way, you have to shake it right away. If you don't shake it right away, this will not work. And then after you shake it, you can set it down for a moment, but you're going to have to pick it up again because everything's going to start settling to the bottom. And once it starts settling, you'll clump up again. So that's why, look at that, I even have some clumping up. Really? Really? I tried so hard to avoid that. I think I took too long. You really have to be on that right away. So let's go ahead and leave that for now. I'll have to pick it up in a few minutes. Otherwise, they will start clumping up and get at the bottom. But if you do it the way that I'm showing you, and it's not that hard, then they will be fine. And you can let them go at that point and they'll be gone. See, I can see them right now settling to the bottom. Just in the time that it took me to wash these celery, see? Now let me do it again. Keep it going. It's probably really boring for everybody, but oh well. This is what I do in my mornings. People wanted to see it, so you can see it. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it is free. A lot of people charge for special information. Come and pay for my channel's secret hydrogen smoothie recipe, And people probably would, but I like to give stuff away for free. I really do. I wish I could do a lot more. I wish I was like some crazy rich tycoon trillionaire that I could just be like, you know what? Hydrogen smoothies for everybody. I'm gonna help everybody get healthy on the right track, because when you're healthy and you're happy, you're even a better worker. You're more productive, What do they say? You get more bees with honey, or whatever that's called. I feel like instead of making us sick and putting all this garbage in our food, why don't they do the opposite? Why don't they help us be super healthy, super happy, super productive? We can be wonderful to each other. We could create like, what's that one song? What a wonderful world. We could have a wonderful world. And it is a wonderful world. It's just a matter of us humans, right? I feel like we're the only ones who do these weird things to each other and to planet Earth and weird stuff. It's always humans bringing the pain, maybe even to ourselves, and we don't even know it. Okay, so let's go with that right now. I don't feel like that's enough celery, but I'm starting to wonder if I'm going to have enough room in this smoothie today. So let's go ahead and grab a banana. Organic, of course, banana. Everything I'm putting in here so far is organic. And you know what I'm going to do? This probably won't make sense, but I'm going to do it a little differently today. I'm going to add the minerals, the magic ingredient right now. The minerals without salt. I'm going to put them in now. It's quite a bit. I don't know. I must put something like 40 drops in there or something. Okay. Didn't even read your questions. 2 questions. I often add my avocado to my smoothie. Yeah, I think that's great. I can inhale after pouring the hydrogen water, or do I need to leave the water in the pitcher? Inhale after. Sure. What? I'll try to. Can you show me how you put the tubes to your nose? Sure. No problem. I think we do have a little room. I feel like I'm forgetting something. You know what? It's probably the natto. Like I'm forgetting something. I'm going to just put a little bit more celery in here today because I like it. And it's good for you, like most fruits and vegetables. Some people get worried about oxalates. You'd have to eat a massive amount of vegetables, plus hydrogen appears to protect against oxalates, plus some of the stuff I soak in water, like the walnuts, for some of that. What's funny about food is you could pretty much say anything negative about almost any food. You could say negative things about fruits and vegetables because of, again, people talk about the oxalate thing. You could say negative things about meat, and you could say positive things about both. So what I did is I had to really weigh that out and see which one was going to be more beneficial. But according to data, the people who live the longest, lots of vegetables, guys. And I also have to go off my gut instinct and the way that I feel. And I feel my best when I have a lot of fiber, lots of fruits and vegetables. It feels very clean. And when you read about the benefits, they're kind of through the roof, and some very strange benefits too. There's some very strange things. Even the science hasn't figured out. Sometimes they'll be like, we don't know why these vegetables are anti-cancerous, but they appear to have an anti-parasitic, anti-cancerous effect. I'm like, yep, duh. I have my theories as to why, but there's a lot of very interesting characteristics to. Boy, this is a long carrot. Carrots are so cool because I'm not a huge fan of cooked carrots, I must say. I mean, who eats carrots? How often do you eat carrots? But they're so cheap. Like I said, I get this organic bag, just so cheap, and they're sweet. They're crunchy. They're extremely healthy for you. Very, very powerful antioxidants in these. On top of all of it, I believe there's certain effects. Well, I think they're good for your heart too, but I believe there's specific effects on cancer, and we can look those up in a moment if you guys want me to do it. These are the sweetest of. So yes, carrots are magical, affordable, and they're kind of a neat color. You know, I don't like orange on clothes. I don't like orange color on cars, but I like orange on my food. And look how pretty they are. And look how long this one is. Holy cow, this one was got a long carrot here. Then they're really, and there's different types of carrots. There's some carrots I'm going to be using like when I go to Japan. They have different types of carrots. And they are some different color ones too. But like I said, they're inexpensive. You definitely want to go organic when you go with root vegetables. I mean, you'd like to just go organic for everything personally. But somebody contacted me, I think it was yesterday, and I felt kind of bad for them because they live in a country where apparently they don't really have access to organic vegetables. I was like, what? I mean, I kind of know that there are countries like that, but so they're like, so what am I supposed to do? And I'm like thinking, well, still eat the vegetables. I mean, you still have to do vegetables. You just wash them the best you can and you do the best you can. It's like, oh, yeah, by the way, we don't have clean water here either. I'm like, well, you have to get yourself a carbon distiller. The cool thing about a carbon distiller is it will clean any water to the highest degree. I mean, you could put the most nastiest water in those things. And yeah, all the tanks will get all nasty, but the water that comes out, I mean, guys, one of the things that, I mean, it even shocked me upon my research. This stuff literally, these carbon distillers will literally eliminate toxic waste and radioactive waste. I mean, just so much stuff that you would never think that, you know, carbon distiller could do. There's no way normal filters would do that. You know, they just don't work like that. Okay, so I think I still have a little bit more room. I'm going to throw a little bit more carrot in there. I'm almost out of carrots too. Now, you know what feels good too? I'm going to share a little secret with you guys. Like when I go take out my compost or if I'm taking out the garbage, I remember when I was younger, I used to take out all the different stuff, and I remember seeing a lot of beer bottles. My friends would come over and we drink a lot of beer, and I remember just after 1 week, I'd look at the garbage can full, and I was like, oh my gosh, am I going through that much beer? Now I know that everybody would drink beer too, but still, I mean, I was drinking it too with my friends, and it was kind of like, man, I'm putting that much through my liver and that much through my body. I remember thinking about it, and I was like, geez, this is because it didn't feel like that. You know, you just kind of sit down, you hang out with your friends. It didn't feel like I was. Okay, I'm going to try to put some of these in here already. Look at that. They already soaked up a lot of the water. Nice chia seeds. And so that's when I was like, you know, I can't be putting that amount in my body. And when I'm treating myself better, a little bit more clean hydrogen water in here. And I go look at the garbage can or again, the compost pile when I'm dumping it out. And I see massive amounts of fruits and vegetables and the kind of things that I'm putting in my body. It makes me feel better. I'm like, oh, that's what's going through my body. That's kind of nice. I don't know why. I just feel better. This is going to be noisy. And then I got some secret ingredients I got to show you guys that we absolutely need for absolute nutrition. It's just part of this whole protocol. So here we go. Let me turn this on. Okay. Oh, really? I got to go grocery shopping again. Low on beets, low on carrots. What else are we low on? Nothing. There's over there, too. I have to buy a couple more cases or something. Today's gonna taste weird. Okay, let's dump it. Chop it up. See when it gets really aggressive, like, whoa. That's because you know it's chopping something. Let's see. There we go. And you know what's nice about the blender doing all this work for me? Thank you, blender. Very grateful for that guy. It's chewing all the food for me, which is a really good thing because I don't think we all chew enough. In my personal opinion, tell me if you think you chew enough, or tell me if you don't think you chew enough. Make a little comment below. I'm curious about this. Because in my personal opinion, I don't think none of us chew good enough, or almost none of us. Maybe there's somebody out there who chews enough. All right, let me go grab some jars. We're gonna cut them with a little bit of hydrogen water, just a little bit. Why? Well, because in my personal opinion, you put a little bit of hydrogen water in there. Now I already loaded up on it. So you gotta remember, I loaded up on the hydrogen already. I drank 1 liter, empty stomach. I'm gonna cut a little bit into the smoothie jars. And then I'm gonna inhale it also while I drink the smoothie. But I got some magic ingredients. And I want to get good absorption. That's the whole reason that I use the hydrogen. They're really, you should see the way it moves the blood. It's amazing. All right, almost done. Almost there, guys. This has got to be. Okay, we're going to show you the magic ingredients because even the purine powder, you look at every ingredient in there, it's all this food in there, which is exactly what I like to see in my ingredients. I did find something that looked pretty good today. I did find a powder, or no, it wasn't today, it was yesterday. And I gotta say, it actually looked pretty good, but man, was it expensive. It was even more expensive than Purium. And I was like, I'm already very happy with this one. So I'm gonna stick with this one. Tastes different. Must be that lack of natto in there. Still tastes quite good though. Okay, which is the magic ingredients? This is what I do. Always best in food form. Second best is gonna be ionic. D3 with K2. K2 for helping with absorption. Normally we have a lot of vitamin K in our natto, but I'm all good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I like them paired with the fibers from fruits and vegetables. Between the fiber from fruits and vegetables and the hydrogen water and proper hydration, that seems to be what's really helped with absorption. I've had very good luck with absorption, keeping the GI really clean, making sure you have no deficiencies. Because someday, I believe personally, something's going to happen someday. I'm not going to say what it is. But something's going to happen in the future, and you're going to want to be at your optimal health, and you are not going to want to be on pharmaceuticals because you're going to be in trouble if you are. This one, next one's boron, secret ingredient boron, ionic form. We did have some raisins in there which have natural boron, but I'm going to add even more. This is good for sex hormones, very important for testosterone, estrogen, and for muscles and bones and ligaments and even brain health, brain function. We should probably give some of this to Mr. Brandon. You know, I think if they got that guy on my smoothies and my hydrogen protocol, God knows, that guy'd probably be a lot sharper. But I'm not trying to be political, by the way. I'm just worried about that guy. It's like shaking hands to the air. He doesn't know where he's at. But that happens with age, right? But you know what? You can still be a very healthy 80-year-old, in my personal opinion. This one's chlorophyll. This one you mostly find in rich leafy greens. This stuff is so dark green, it will stain everything in sight. But I really like it. I wouldn't normally buy it because I'm a minimalist when it comes to my health. I just try to get the absolute minimum for our maximum results. But that was sent to me, and I'm trying it, and I'm actually liking it. A lot more than I expected, actually. Kind of like that apothecary stuff I want to show you guys, too, if you ever want to see it. Really like that apothecary. It's like a dessert. That's why I have it at nighttime, and I normally don't eat at night, but it helps with sleep. So I thought, and it's a very small, it's just a tiny bit of fruit. But still, I usually think that eating at night is not a good thing, especially when you're trying to heal. But, sometimes, and sometimes I have what I call little cheat days. My cheat day is having a small amount of apothecary at night. Okay, next ingredient is, in my opinion, also extremely magical. Super nutritious. It might as well be a multivitamin all on its own, practically. And that's from the cannabis plant, of all things, marijuana. Can you believe that? Hemp hearts. Of all things, no, they will not get you high. Yes, they're extremely full of nutrition, tons of protein, but a very well balanced protein. That's important. People don't realize that. They're just like, oh, you need protein. They don't realize it's a balance between omega 3s and 6s, what you want. And from what I understand, this is possibly the most well balanced protein in the world known to man. Omega 3s and 6s, my friends. Okay, now I'm going to show you the last magic ingredient, which just makes it all work. Part of it was already drinking that hydrogen water. That really is actually a magic ingredient that I drink before I get rolling. I'm going to take my earpiece out, so hopefully you guys can still hear me here in a second. We're going to go over here. Somebody wanted to see how I put this cannula on, which is kind of I didn't know it was that complicated. But let's see what we can do. I think I have a video on it, actually. Video, because, I mean, what I do, let's see if you're watching, Dreamer. I think that was Dreamer who was asking. You know what, though? Clean my nose first. One moment, and then I'll answer your questions. Health and happiness. So what you do is you put this thing up to your nose, and these behind your ears. So I put it up to my nose, and then behind my ears. That's it. That's simple. Now I can inhale while plug this phone in. Because you know it's gonna die. Let's try this new one today. That's good. Okay. I'm like, I'm gonna choke myself. Uh-oh. Pulling Epstein by accident. Okay, let's see here. Let's inhale some of this. What were we gonna look up? Was it the health benefits of carrots, was it? Okay, but let me answer your questions first. And read your comments. Everybody must be heard. Dramer says, hiya. What do you mean nobody? Just kidding. I'm sure more people will be here soon. Okay, Kurt says, just got here. What type of filter do you use? It's a carbon distiller, mypurewater.com, discount code uprising144K. All their systems make the same quality of water. So it comes down to just options. Bulky Pug says, thanks for all you do. Oh, thank you. Dramer says, he has a water distiller. Which one? I think we went over that. What brand natto? You know, everybody's always asking what the brand of natto. It's like asking me what the brand of apples I use. It's a food, my friend. Just make sure it's from Japan. And as long as it's from Japan, it doesn't even have to be organic. They're very good about using 0 to very little pesticides. They're very strict about being good to their people, which has become a problem because now they live too long. And even one of their, I think that guy who got assassinated, their prime minister, I think he was the one who said, you guys need to start dying already. He said that publicly. What a dummy. What's wrong with humans? You want to have a long, healthy life. You don't want people to die because of economic reasons. That's so stupid. What microgreens do I like? Well, all the ones that are in my powders. And all the stuff I put in my smoothie. I wanted to see what the health benefits of, what was it, carrots? This is quite good today. But I mean, you gotta like everything. far as the zincs, the calciums, vitamin C, copper, magnesium. Vitamin D, though, is so important. But yes, I want to be deficient in nothing. That's always the goal, by the way. So I would say that I love one more than the other, but I am pretty fond of zinc and vitamin D. Bulky Pug, because distillation is so effective, is the carbon really needed? Good question, Bulky. Yay, we got a good one. Yes, it is necessary. Let me tell you why. If you guys really want to know, this isn't to bore you to death, I would think, but this is the truth. You see, in nature, water rises. Think of this being like a mile high, 2 miles, like you're just really going up in the air. An ascension is a part of purification. So as the water ascends, the higher it goes, the more impurities it leaves behind. So when it gets really, really, really high and comes down as rain or snow, for example, the water becomes very clean. The problem is when you use a distiller, it can only go so high and not nearly as high as nature. So some gases will rise up. For example, chlorine gas. It will rise up and it can get through the distillation process. So the little carbon filter they use can easily eliminate those last little things. That's actually the reason that I purify my water before putting it in there, so that I don't have to use that carbon filter. But if I don't have access to it, then I'll use the carbon filter. Hopefully that answers your question. Obviously there's almost nobody in here, so, but hopefully that answers anybody's questions later. That was good. But distillation gets almost rid of almost everything. There's just a few little things that get through. But yes, you definitely need to use the carbon. Connie Graves says, my pure water is what the distiller is called. Okay. The website is called mypurewater.com. That's the website. On the website, they have multiple models, 2 that are countertop, which are the cheapest ones. They all make extremely clean water. They're all very high quality. It really doesn't matter. Me personally, I would probably go with the cheapest one because they work really good. With the discount code, they're 600 and something bucks. With the discount code, they go to like 500 and something bucks. Cecilia Andrade says, let's try to make up her voice here. Quiero preguntarte, ¿es difícil aprender a usar hidrógeno, la máquina del hidrógeno? Si tu video ayer día, el 11 de mayo, en el canal Tanitz, muy interesante y buena información. Ok, para responder tu pregunta es muy fácil, la verdad, usar la máquina que los japoneses crearon, que es la que estoy usando ahorita. Mira, más bien dicho, aquí lo estoy usando. Yo diría que vayas a ver mis videos y eso ojalá te ayude y voy a intentar de hacer más en español. Ultimately, what she's asking, guys, is if it's easy to use the hydrogen machine. I don't know, you could probably answer that. Dreamer, you just got one. But I just told her, yes, they're very easy because the Japanese made it very easy. They simplified it so much for us, even to the point of measuring the hydrogen into the nose. Like, nobody measures their hydrogen. All these companies out there, they all guess. Nobody's actually measuring it. And the way that they go about measuring it is really ridiculous. Like a bubble test. They stick a tube and they're like, oh, look at all these bubbles. You don't know what's in those bubbles. You think it's all hydrogen? Yeah, nothing's being measured. But in Japan, they do. I love those guys. Okay, Bulky Pug. Supplements can often be counterfeit. Another reason to look for a good source. I completely agree. I make ginger kombucha, says Delight McKnight. Delight McKnight. Awesome, dude. I love ginger. And I like ginger kombucha. I call it kombucha. Bulky Pug says ginger is said to be great for motion sickness. You know, I like ginger. Tastes great to me. Really good health benefits. Also appears to be not only anti-cancerous. Let me see here. I thought ginger, yeah, anti-cancerous, but I thought I'm gonna guess but I thought they were partially anti-parasitic. Let's see. Several studies, wow, several studies, not just one, several studies have demonstrated the anti-parasitic efficacy of ginger. Multiple parasites, Schistosomas, T. spiralis, D. imidis, Plasmodium, Giardia, Trypanosomes, 23, 30, oh my God, wow, ginger's anti-parasitic. I've been telling you guys that my smoothies are anti-parasitic. All these, so many ingredients in here that are anti-parasitic. Okay, what's next? By the way, it's a good way for us to hang out, guys, so if you want to ask questions, this is your time. Dramer says, 2 questions. GK says, I often add avocado. And you know what? I would have an avocado every day, but to be honest, it gets kind of expensive. But otherwise, yeah, it's great stuff. If I was rich, I would totally do that all the time. Maybe I should do it just for the heck of it, huh? Try it sometime. Dramer says, can I inhale after pouring hydrogen water? After pouring it? Or do I need to leave the water in the pitcher? Okay, so if the pitcher's full, Dramer, look, I'm inhaling right now. The pitcher is full of water right to here. If you pour some out and drink it, you need to refill it in order to do your inhalation. You can't be running it when the water's down here somewhere. The way that it was tested, I follow what the company guidelines are because they test everything and they're extremely smart, and I found them to be the best hydrogen company basically in the world, most knowledgeable. The Japanese about it. Fill it up, dude, and then inhale. You can drink the water, but you got to refill it. And by the way, you can start inhaling right away. You don't have to run the machine. You can just start inhaling right away. Number 2 question, Dramer. Can you show me how you put on the nose thing? I showed you that already. Soldiers Craft says, what do you do with the compost container? Do you have a compost bin? Of course, brother. That's what I do. I go dump it into my compost bin. All that compost, tons of it. All that stuff's going through this body right here. Crazy, huh? Delight McKnight says, what microgreens do you like? I think we went over that already, right? Soldiers Craft says, is there any books from Japan authors you recommend to read? You know, not really. I think I've talked about this before. It's gonna make me sound like a total arrogant jerk. I don't know how else to say it nicely because I don't consider myself to be really good with words. I just have to say how it is, and you know, sometimes it even upsets people. No, I mean, if you're gonna read it depends on what kind of book you want. I will say one of the best books, in my opinion, of all time is the Tao Te Ching. That thing is flipping amazing. You guys want to hear? Look, I'll literally read, like, I don't know, something very simple, like 1 sentence. Let's see here. I'll just put best Tao Te Ching quotes. How's that? We'll just do one quick quote because, and one of them, I'm already liking it already. See, one of them says simplicity. That's what I try to do with my protocols. Patience. That's what I try to have with humans and people because I feel bad that they don't know what they're doing sometimes. Compassion. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. You know, things like this. You know, there's so many great things from the Tao Te Ching. But okay, I'm going to read one more. I'm going to read the whole thing because I only gave a few words of it, and then we'll move on, unless you guys really like this. Simplicity, patience, compassion. These 3 are your greatest treasures. Simple in actions and thoughts, you return to the source of being. Patient with both friends and enemies. You accord with the way things are, compassionate toward yourself. You reconcile all beings in the world. And that's it. And of course, these have to be translation, you know, so that really, a lot of stuff gets lost in translation. But yeah, and this is probably a famous one. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. And you know, that's what I'm really big on, is you try to master yourself. That's why I try to eliminate things that were not, they weren't good for me. I have rules and discipline that I live by, and just things that I live, you know, and I share it with you guys because I thought it really, you know, might be helpful. Okay, so it's not a Japanese book though, Soldier's Craft. So I will tell you that. It is not a Japanese book. As far as Japanese books, you could read, I think it's called, let me see if I can find it. It's called The Book of Seven Rings, I think. The Book of Five Rings. That's what it's called. The Book of Five Rings would be a good book. If you like to read, you know. These days, to be honest, this is really weird for me to say this because I used to read a lot and I'll read a lot of scientific data and stuff, but the truth is, I don't like reading much anymore. And the reason is because I have found much more wisdom when I go into these deep meditations. There's so much more inside. There's like way more stuff than ever written in any book that I've ever seen. And that's where I get a lot of my information and guidance about how I should proceed in my life. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question, Soldier's Craft. If not, ask again. Stacy Wakal says, so you buy dry raisin, they put them in your water. Yeah, raisins. I buy raisins. I buy sun-dried organic raisins. And then, yes, I soak them in water the night before to make these wonderful smoothies. Okay. Hopefully that answers that question. Dramer says, yes, I am watching and inhaling. Cool, brother. All right. Take some deep breaths from the nose, too. That's when you can really feel the hydrogen because you're pulling it. You can actually feel a little bit of a cool mist from hydrogen. Okay. Stacy Wakal says, do you drink that blender full? Yes, but not all at once. I mean, these are pretty big jars. I mean, just pouring these two big jars, there's not even that much left in the blender. I go through one of those pitchers every day. That's why I make them every morning. Show you guys, you know. Okay. Stacy, I use chia in my smoothies all the time. Well, you go, girl. Good for you. Unless you're a boy, because I used to have a friend named Stacy who was a guy, so. Okay, Dramer. Oh, shoot, I was inhaling with it empty. Oh, geez, dude. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Where do you think? All right, well, better luck next time. You'll get it. You just started. You never want to run that machine while it's without water, though. It will damage it, so don't run it without water. You're going to break your machine. You do realize that the magic is all about water, even hydrogen. But there is no hydrogen. I mean, it's in the water. That's why, look, this whole thing is filled with water. This whole pitcher. And not only that, I pour water in here too, remember? Because there's water below the pitcher too. That's part of the design. It makes for really clean hydrogen. Okay. Let's see here. ED or Ed. I don't think you want to name yourself ED. But Ed says, hello, do you have exercise routine? You know, I do. It's very basic. It's extremely simple. I call it my 3-minute workout because it's almost no workout at all, to be honest. I don't think it does. It's just very light. I mostly do walking and stretching these days. I used to be big on lifting, but it just didn't really, I mean, yeah, you can get big and strong, but for longevity and health, yeah, a little exercise. But yes, I do have a little routine that I do, but mostly walking. But yes, I have a little 3-minute workout. I guess I could show you someday, but I don't know if it's much of a workout, but yeah, I could show it to you. Do you practice Visana or Sadhi meditation? Neither one, Dramer. This is kind of weird to say this. I'll try to keep it really brief here. So basically, I don't know what happened to me, but something happened to me along my life where I did do a meditation one time, like I would say almost by complete accident. It almost felt like, have you ever felt inspired to do something, or even something silly like you feel like you got to go to the bathroom and you just feel it naturally. Nobody needed to teach you. Nobody needed to show you how to go to the bathroom. You just know how to go to the bathroom. It was kind of like that for me. And then I developed my own techniques, and that's just what worked for me. So I don't follow anybody's meditation or anything. I found my own technique, and it works really great for me. So okay, Blanca Guzman, how do you wait? How long do you wait to eat again? How long do I wait to eat again? Well, if I drink the hydrogen water, which I do, that's always the way I start my day. So I drink 1 liter of it. I will not eat for 20 to 30 minutes. And then I have my smoothie is the other thing. So lots of water in my system. Proper hydration is so important in health. I cannot emphasize it enough. You want good vascular, on your veins, and you want the blood moving, and yeah, really clean blood that is well hydrated. Okay, Dramer, without water in the pitcher, will it ruin it? There was water in the base. Of course it'll ruin it. You don't want to be running your machine without any water in the pitcher, my friend. That you always want to leave a tiny little amount in the pitcher for the membrane. The membrane is designed to work with water. It soaks it all up. It's like running an engine without any oil in it. It's like, will running an engine without oil ruin it? Of course it will. Same thing with this machine. Always, and when I drink water from it, I always leave a tiny bit, and then I just refill it. There's always water in my machine, just like there's always oil in my car engine. Unless you're driving an electric car. That's different. Okay. Hopefully you haven't ruined it yet. GK says, I have one brand new hydrogen machine, and it produces these big air bubbles, not the other ones. What can I do? Well, GK, tell me the name of the machine that you're using. Then we'll go from there. Where do you get those great scissors? They're just normal scissors. I got them on the internet. They're like KitchenAid scissors. I think they were $10 or something. There's nothing magical about them. They're just scissors. Just scissors. See, I finished all this and I still want more. I'm gonna go grab more and finish answering your questions. Heat pack anymore. Yeah, maybe I still hold on to it here a little bit. Okay, back to inhaling. This is my morning routine. Inhale, protect myself from anything that might be in here. GK, use the Hydrofix. Okay, so the reason you're getting the big bubbles is because the machine's probably really new. It takes time. And once the machine gets really broken in, kind of like a really nice car that takes like, 1,000 miles or 1,500 miles to really be nicely broken in, that will eventually go away. The big bubbles. You'll still get big ones once in a while, but they'll start getting smaller and smaller with the break-in period. So just be a little patient. Just like we were just reading the Tao Te Ching. Patience. Okay, where did I get those scissors? That's a good one though. I don't know, maybe Stacy was joking. She's like, where'd you get those scissors? Maybe it's the way that I work the scissors. Did you ever think about that? But actually, there are some scissors that have a real not great angle and they just don't work quite right. I have a whole drawer full of scissors. You guys want to see my scissor drawer? I'm not going to show it to you. I didn't think you'd be interested. But if for some crazy reason you guys are interested in my scissors, I can show you my scissor drawer. I have different ones. I use one that I only use for my vegetables and the fruit and stuff. I have another one that I use for just like opening up packages and stuff. I don't want to cross-contaminate. Okay. Dramer says, so is it fine that I ran it inhaling for 45 minutes? You ran it for 45 minutes with no water in it, Dramer? Oh boy, did you read the instructions? I'm gonna hope it's okay. It's probably fine. Just put water in it, brother. Okay. And then GK says, I only use the Hydrofix. Thanks for all the thumbs up, by the way, guys. Very kind of you. Can you guys hear that machine making the water? Here, watch. It's not, no water's coming out of it right now. And then you're gonna probably hear it. There it goes. Dribble, dribble, dribble. So you just periodically. It takes forever to clean the water, but you know what? It's worth it. And you know, it sits there doing it all day. Doesn't matter. All I did is pour water in it. It's doing all the work for me. So that's really mighty kind of it. Okay. Dramer says, it's funny because I watched all your videos and messed it up. I know, that's what's so weird, dude. I specifically gave you the videos with all the instructions, and it's not even complicated. You know, I don't know why people do that, though. There's been a few people, and I don't understand for the life of me, because I clearly state to fill the pitcher with water every morning. Look, every morning this pitcher's full. And yet I've seen people who fill it up halfway, part of the way. I'm like, what are you doing? The instructions don't say that. I never said that, but that's okay. You'll figure it out. You'll get it. It's a water machine. That's what it is, a hydrogen generator, but needs water. Yeah, you'll be all right. I'm pretty sure you'll be just fine. Those things are really strong, so. You know, one of my friends, you guys want to hear a funny story about I mean, it has nothing to do with health. It has to do with cars. I probably shouldn't share car stories, but Jamer says, because I poured the water and I drank it. Then I figured the gas doesn't need to travel through the water. Of course it does. Of course it does. It's designed that way. You didn't think the gas has to go through the water. You probably don't understand that as it's coming out from underneath the pitcher into the pitcher, it actually goes through a process inside the water. It's so complex. No matter how many times I've read it, I just can't, I still can't explain it. But it's part of the process makes the hydrogen so pure, so clean. And there's something that I really want to tell you guys, but I can't. I'm not allowed to say anything on the internet at this time. All I'll tell you is that it's going to prove that I've been right. So basically everything you've been hearing that I've been saying in all these videos and the over 400 videos that I have, that basically I was right about a lot of things that I've been saying about hydrogen, purity, don't use stuff that uses chemicals like lye. I don't personally use the hydrogen pills either, because there is something very important about purity that the world is going to find out in the very near future. So some people are in denial, though. It's so funny. I don't know why people get in denial about this. It's so basic, too. It's like real basic science. I don't get it. You know, I'm going to end up drinking that whole smoothie thing. It's so good. But I feel like I should save some for later. But my body's wanting it. Okay. Well, if that was all your guys' questions, we can leave it at that today. I do have to go to an appointment very soon. You guys know my favorite book, though. It's not a Japanese book, though. Somebody was asking about Japanese books. But the books I like are just too difficult to understand. They're just way, way, way out there. Sometimes even seems like nonsense until you get it. And then once you get it, you're like, oh my goodness, how did somebody come up with this? I mean, how in the world? It blows my mind, because I gotta tell you, not a lot of people impress me. It's hard to impress me and it's hard to convince me, just so you know. And I have been thoroughly impressed by the Japanese. And I'm definitely not impressed by, well, I shouldn't go into what I'm not impressed by. That wouldn't be good. So let's see what the, what was it, carrots? Health benefits of carrots. It can't be carrots, can it? I know we've gone over it, but oh, they help balance your blood glucose, which is interesting because they have sugar in them. Help balance your weight, lower your risk of cancer, so they do have a anti-cancerous type of effect. Regulate blood pressure, reduce heart disease, improve immunity, boost brain health, promote healthy vision. I mean, goodness gracious, this stuff does so much stuff to your body. Wow. Why is carrots a superfood? Because they're full of tons of antioxidants, more than normal vegetables. Good for inflammation, good for cellular damage, good at fighting free radicals, good source of vitamin A, which is critical for good vision, and a whopping 210% of the recommended daily dose. Wow. And that's, wow. I like carrots. Okay. They're cheap. Okay. Dramer GK, do you always leave some water in your machine pitcher if you leave at home for a few weeks? For a few weeks, no. For a few weeks, make sure to drain your machines properly, guys. Don't try to dump the water out and everything. Please watch my video on how to pack it up, because I recently heard of somebody who damaged their machine from doing it wrong. There's a little rubber plug in the back of the machine. You put it over the sink, pull the rubber plug, drain the water, put the plug back in, clean it all up, dry it. Pitcher, you can pour all the water out of it, also dry it. I mean, because if it's just gonna sit around for 2 weeks, it's just that mine is a daily thing. This is my daily routine, so I have my daily. But if it's gonna be stored, yes, I will completely dry it just like a brand new unit. And that's so good. This is gonna be really hard to not finish. How am I gonna do that? I guess I should just listen to my body. My body's hungry. I'm just gonna let it have it. Okay, so, all right. Any last questions? Any last requests? Any last comments? Did anybody watch? Well, maybe I shouldn't even go into that. Yeah, so, yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there was any information on, how about, yeah, anyway, carrots are amazing. I mean, I could go into all sorts of stuff probably about carrots, even for your brain. Okay, everybody left anyway, so do you always leave some water in the pitcher? Okay, so that's the last question, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I'm gonna do a workout video for you guys. I'm gonna show you my 5-minute workout. You guys are gonna be like, yeah. What's my favorite micronutrient? Well, okay, guys. I think that's it. So thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys next time on the next one.